Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So sorry we've had a tiny break from YouTube. I know I've been being super consistent for like the first time ever. I had a bit of a stressful week last week, didn't end up filming anything, and I just thought if I was gonna film, it was just not gonna be like the kind of content I wanted to put out. So to be honest, my energy levels have been pretty low. I thought we'd kind of get back into it by doing a big old Q&A. Also, if you are new here, hey, I'm Annie, and this is probably quite a good way to like get to know me. I don't know how personal or like fitness-based questions are, but if you are new here, I tend to do a lot of fitness-based content. I also love incorporating just showing like bits of my life and things like that. So let's see what questions you guys have got. So the first question we have got is, what would you advise people to do who feel too nervous to use the weight section in the gym but really want to? Okay, so I was really lucky when I started weightlifting because I just went with Elliot, so I was like his workout partner. I wasn't as worried what people would think because he was kind of like training me in a sense. So I do think that if you already know what you're doing in the gym, if you know what you're doing when it comes to weightlifting but you're a bit worried about doing it by yourself, I do think getting a workout partner could be amazing. But I do think that one of the main reasons that people don't feel too confident in the weight section is because you don't really feel like you properly know what you're doing. So what I would advise you to do would be to pick up a set of dumbbells or a barbell from the weightlifting section and just take it to a safe space in the gym where you feel you can confidently get to know that piece of equipment, build up confidence, and then the next step can be to go and complete those exercises in the weight section. So you might spend a few weeks maybe in a corner of the gym just lifting dumbbells. Also, if you do want a fabulous dumbbell-only workout program, my Accomplished Cut program is amazing for that, amazing at building up confidence. It's also very beginner friendly, and I will link it in the description box, shameless plug. But that's the question. I do think that a lot of it is around building confidence with the exercise. So just make sure you've mastered a few exercises and then you'll feel much more confident in yourself and much more confident in the weight section. I think the scariest thing is the idea of walking into the weight section, not knowing what you're doing, maybe lifting a barbell and doing it completely wrong and thinking, oh my God, there are loads of men staring at me. The other thing to note is that people don't look at you in the gym as much as you think that they do. People are always really occupied with their own thing, and honestly, I never pay attention to anybody in the gym, like my surroundings at all, and I think we as women often just feel a bit too self-confident. But just remember, you're amazing, you're powerful, just stroll in there and just smash a session. Next question, what do you do or how do you manage when energy is low? Oh my gosh, this is literally me nearly every single day at the moment. I really feel like, oh, the past few weeks, both Ellie and I have just been so low on energy, and even some days where I've not done a workout, I just feel exhausted and for absolute no reason. But I do think number one thing is just like, don't be too hard on yourself, especially in the UK and some other countries that are in lockdown at the moment. We're going through like such a strange time. I can't stress that enough. I'm also really guilty of doing this and just putting so much pressure on myself to constantly be productive when I'm probably spending half the time with like the ultimate cabin fever. I just want to get out this flat, I just want to go and like see my family, see my friends, have a bit of a change of scene, and you can't do any of that. So I do think number one thing is just don't be too hard on yourself, ride the wave a little bit. What I have tried to do is if I have a day where my energy is super low, if I have to be productive, honestly, I'll just have an extra coffee or a little Monster or something, and I've definitely been relying on caffeine a little bit more. But if you don't have anything ridiculously important to do, switch up your to-do list, get on the sofa or get in bed with your laptop and try and finish off a few emails or whatever, but just don't be too hard on yourself. Can't stress that enough. And I do also think that if you are feeling really, really tired, it's not always the best idea to just push through it and do a workout. In fact, having an hour lying around reassessing your energy levels could be more beneficial. How do you remain confident even on days where you're not looking or feeling your best? Okay, so I definitely have these days, and like quite often at the moment. For example, last week, like I said, I had a bit of a stressful week and I was honestly just bloated the whole time. I think that when I'm stressed, it goes to my stomach, and I just felt like I'd been training hard, like eating really well, but I just still honestly felt like a massive marshmallow all week, and it wasn't making me feel great. So the day that I tried to put on jeans and take a nice picture, that just didn't work out for me. It made me actually feel so much worse. So what I would say is just put on some lovely, comfortable clothes. But what I would say is, and I honestly can't believe I'm saying this, but at the moment, one of the things that makes me feel really good in the morning is taking some good time to do a skincare routine where I feel like I'm helping my skin to be all radiant and glowy, but also actually putting on a bit of makeup. And I just think that putting that time into my appearance has actually had a big effect on just making me feel a bit better about myself at the moment. And I used to be one of those people that would just spend all day without makeup unless I like literally had to. But now just putting 10 minutes into doing some nice makeup, nice glowy makeup, makeup, nice hairstyle, using my Dyson Airwrap and just doing a bit of hair care makes me feel so much better. So definitely spend a little bit more time investing into yourself. But again, just don't be too hard on yourself. It's so normal to have those days. And someone said to me once that you wouldn't, if you didn't have the, it was some saying like, if you didn't have the good days, you would, it was a saying that was like, if you didn't have the bad days, you wouldn't have the good days, or the good days wouldn't feel as good. So just kind of ride the wave, except that you are gonna have some days where you don't feel as good as others. What is your current workout routine? Well, the most honest answer to this question is that I literally don't have one at the moment. I am trying to stick to doing 5 workouts a week, which is honestly quite an achievement for me at the moment because I had struggled at the start of lockdown. I'm doing my Accomplish Uplift Challenge at the moment and we are on to week 4 out of 6. I literally can't believe I'm saying that because it feels like we literally just started it yesterday, but this is start of week 4, so I'm filming this video on the Monday and all the girls are doing so amazing. So if you are watching this and you're doing the Uplift Challenge, keep smashing it. So at the moment, I am following 2 of my Accomplished programs. The reason I'm doing 2 is because I have been suffering from a knee injury, so I actually can't complete either program exactly the way that I want it to. So I do mix between my Accomplished Cut Guide and my Accomplished Reboot Guide, and I have to just adapt the workout slightly. All 3 of my Accomplished guides have a 5-day split basically, so 2 rest days each week, which I find works really well for me. So at the moment, my workouts are split into lower body, upper body, and a HIIT/full body, and then another lower body and another upper body. So 5 workouts a week, 2 lower, 2 upper, and a kind of mixed one in between. What I would say though is if I was going to the gym, I'd probably be using my Reboot Gym Guide, which is split into glutes and hamstrings, push, full body burn, quads and calves, and pull. And I literally love that split. Like that is the ultimate split for me, with a nice HIIT session in the minute, 25-minute HIIT, and the other workouts are around like 50 to 70 minutes, I guess, depending on how quickly you do them. One of the questions on here is how often do you do a full body workout? And I guess I kind of just answered that in the last question, but I would say I do a full body workout around once a week. But honestly, just do one whenever you feel like you want to. There's no right or wrong way of working out, as long as you are obviously using like correct form and technique and things like that. Where do you get all of your knowledge from about fitness? Are there any books you recommend? So I actually haven't read any books on fitness, and it's quite difficult to tell you. So I have done a personal training qualification, and what I would say is I know some people have said that they didn't learn a lot on their personal training course. I personally learned so much. I think my teacher was amazing. We had like full-on exams. Like I was convinced that I was gonna fail the exam. They were hard, and like I did okay in like my science GCSE and things, but they were actually really difficult. I do feel like I learned a lot on my course, and I have managed to really apply that into what I do today. You have to remember as well that I started getting into fitness when I was like honestly about 8. I would say that I started gaining a lot more knowledge when I was around 15 and started taking squash more seriously. Did a lot of squash camps. We also were introduced to a lot of strength and conditioning exercises, and that kind of followed through into my university. So I did get taught a lot from a young age. Also, I have got a lot of my fitness knowledge from Elliot as well. So I started doing my weightlifting with him, as I mentioned earlier, and naturally I would just ask him a lot of questions as I went along, but also YouTube. Honestly, I have learned quite a lot from YouTube videos. I know there are people like Brett Contreras who has a massive focus around glutes. I have definitely learned a lot from him. Yeah, just watching other YouTube videos over the years has also been massively helpful. But I would just say that the more you do it, the more you'll learn, because the more you'll end up researching, speaking to people about it. So yeah, no books, but I have had a lot of different kind of sources that have really helped. If we purchase one of your Accomplished guides, will we have access to it forever, or is there an expiration date? No, you will have access to it forever. Well, I hope literally ever and ever, but yeah, for a long time, you will definitely have access to it, unless I don't know, the app like implodes or something. So yeah, it's literally just a one-off payment and you will be able to have it forever. What are your favorite jeans? Okay, so I actually get asked this question a lot, and I'm considering making a whole YouTube video on this because I do think that a lot of people with a similar body type to me, so I have a smaller waist and like, I guess like a bigger bum and thighs, and it's so much harder to find jeans. So much harder to find jeans. I can't empathize with people who have just been able to fit into like normal jeans their whole life. But one of my favorite pairs at the moment is from Weekday. I will have to link it down below because I don't know the name off the top of my head. I've been wearing them in black and blue over on my Instagram page. Go and follow me over on there if you don't already. And they are literally amazing. Like I just think they fit so well. And I have realized that I feel most comfortable in my body type in a 27-inch waist. So 26-inch waist is a size 8 and 28-inch is a size 10. So the UK size 10 is always too big for me. I always kind of prefer how they fit lower down, and size 8 is usually the size that I would end up in, but if I'm having days where I'm feeling a bit bloated, they're definitely a slightly slightly tighter fit on me. So I do think it's really important to actually figure out your size. So I think 27-inch waist works really well for me, and you can only get those at specific shops. So Urban Outfitters in the UK has a 27-inch waist. I'm assuming like Levi's does, but I do actually find their jeans quite uncomfortable. They're just very like rigid and just thick, which is like lovely, but I don't know, I never feel like that confident in their jeans. And then Weekday, which I have found recently, and they have amazing jeans. But the pair that I wear quite often as well are from Minga, M-I-N-G-A, which is quite a strange name for a brand. I've got this amazing pair of jeans, which I think they call the dad jeans, and I just came across them honestly on like a Google search, and they've been amazing. But I wear those in a size 6, which is definitely not my size. The sizes must be all over the place, so do note if you do go and buy them, because I will link them down below, that you should definitely size down. But yeah, do let me know in the comments if you do want me to make a full video on this. I do think I've mastered a few good jean types over the years. Were you ever a fan of One Direction? Oh my god, that's so random. I guess I was. I wasn't like a super fan. I don't think I've ever been like a real big fan of anything before. But no, I did listen to their music, and one of my best friends, Gina, was like a super fan. So I actually went to see like their film at the cinema and things like that because she was really obsessed. How do I gain body confidence? I feel like this is such a difficult question to answer because I do feel like I am definitely growing in confidence over the years, but I wouldn't say I am particularly body confident now. It's definitely something I've always struggled with. I have some friends who will just like prance about in a bikini on holiday, and I'm definitely not one of those people. I'm like one of those people that will put my shorts on before I just go to the toilet on the beach. Never been that confident in a bikini or anything like that. What I would say is as I've got older, I've got a lot more confident. I remember at uni, I was just so insecure. Like when I think about when I was younger, I was just, oh, I don't know. When I think back to even a few years ago, my body consumed so many of my thoughts. I think I've just come to the terms with the fact that this is my body and this is what I have been given. And yes, there are some bits of it that I can change, but in reality, I am the shape that I am, and you've just got to really try and look at what your body can do for you rather than how it looks. Also, just remember that the ideal body types have been so just made up by the media. There's no like right or wrong way to look. You're always gonna have like a friend that has the body that you want, and they probably have something about you that they would also really like. And just do really try and come to terms with the fact that your body is your body. You have been given that body. Be grateful for it, treat it really well, and just don't spend too much of your time obsessing over it. At the end of the day, it's really rare to be remembered for what your body looks like. You want to be remembered for being a kind person, having lovely friends, you know, relationships, and just generally having a great personality that people really love. So I know it's tricky, and I know it's not necessarily what you want to hear if you are at a stage where you're really hating your body. I have absolutely been there, but what I can say is I do think that with age you definitely get a little bit more confident. Sorry guys, I just had a bit of a camera battery change. Honestly, when I film this small camera, I can't tell you how terrible the batteries are. Sony honestly needs to sort out. Okay, so back to the questions. Any tips for including movement to your day when you are dead exhausted? Honestly, if you are dead exhausted, don't move. Like, listen to your body. It just doesn't seem sensible to me to go and do a workout or to try and get some movement in when you're feeling shattered, because realistically there's probably a reason why you're feeling really tired, and it's probably because you need a bit more rest. You might need an extra hour in bed or just a night of chilling on the sofa, but really listen to your body. If you are like desperate to get some movement in, I'd 100% suggest doing a walk. I have been doing so much walking at the moment. In fact, last week, I think I walked 68, it's maybe 69 now. I'm gonna check my Fitbit, but I think nearly 70 kilometers I walked last week, which is amazing for me. I obviously can't run or anything because of my knee injury, so I've used walking to kind of replace that, and I've been really loving it. So yeah, definitely get some rest in if you're feeling exhausted, but if you do really want to, I'd set yourself a goal. So if there is a coffee shop open near you where you could go to with a friend or a partner or whoever you live with or whatever to go and grab a coffee, then go and grab a coffee, which would actually make you feel less exhausted, but that's not actually what I meant. But yeah, go and grab a coffee or a juice or something like that, or if you need to go and do your food shop, go and walk to do that instead if you are desperate to get some exercise in, but honestly, you sleep. What job do you think you'd have if not for YouTube? So I know what job that I used to think that I wanted to have, and I know I've said this a few times in Q&As and videos and things, but I wanted to work in the fashion industry. That's kind of like always what I wanted to do. I think I watched Devil Wears Prada when I was little, and I was like, this is for me, I'm gonna be Andy. Did a few internships in fashion and just realized I just didn't think it was fully for me, although I would love to work in fashion in some way, just not the way that the fashion industry is structured in the the UK, it's just really not for me. So I definitely love to have my own clothing brand, maybe like a vintage clothing shop or something like that, which would be really, really cool. In fact, I would still love to do something with fashion, just generally in life. Maybe one day we will end up doing that as well. But honestly, I can't imagine my life any other way now, so I can't really figure out what I'd want to do now. But I'd potentially work for a charity, and I'm quite passionate about homelessness here in the UK, and so potentially something like that, potentially something a little bit creative. I'm honestly not too sure. Okay, so last question that we're gonna answer. How did you train with a knee injury? I'm currently recovering from one and struggling. Well, I'm very much still in the stage of recovering from my knee injury. I'm definitely not over it, and I'm expecting to hear about potential operation that I'm gonna be having. I've got my appointment with my new doctor, who has been amazing so far. So I can absolutely relate to this. Well, what I would say is your lower body isn't stopping you from training your upper body, so you can obviously focus on doing more upper body movements. I know it's not the easiest thing. Like when I had really severe knee pain, I found it difficult to do any movements on my lower body. But also, just disclaimer before I do tell you the answer to this, absolutely get clearance from your physiotherapist or your doctor, GP, physician, or whatever before you take on any advice that I've given, because I don't know your specific injury or anything like that. But what I would say is quite often, if you can still train your hamstrings, your glutes, your posterior chain, and not really have a negative effect on your knee. So for me, I can do glute exercises, I can do hip thrusts, I can do RDLs, good mornings. Yeah, I do still have some exercises that I can do, so I just kind of structure workouts around that. So I know it's really frustrating. I used to be someone who loved doing a HIIT workout, I love doing running, obviously I love playing squash, which is basically like half an hour of like sprinting around a box. You are likely gonna have to accept that if that's the way you like to train, you're not gonna be able to do that until you have recovered. Your knee is obviously like a mechanism that you use all the time, which does mean that training around an injury often means that you have to kind of eliminate those kind of exercises. There will more often than not be exercises that you can do, and obviously you can just focus on upper body training and things like that, core training. There are lots of exercises you can do where you're actually just not moving your lower body at all. But I know it is really frustrating. So I am gonna leave it there, but I hope you enjoyed watching. Leave a comment if there are any videos you'd like to see. I'm honestly really looking for some inspiration, but there are gonna be a few really exciting workout clothing hauls coming soon. I'm actually not working with My Protein anymore. I had loved my time with them, but my contract was up, which means that I will be posting a lot of other brands and things like that, and we can see a few other good old workout clothing hauls. I know you guys used to love these, and I'm just eyeing up in the corner of the room. I have got a good little pile of Sweaty Betty things and a pile of Gymshark things as well. So expect a few more of those soon. But yeah, do let me know if there are any other brands you want to see, or just general videos, because I am looking for a few little content ideas at the moment, just because I've been struggling. I've definitely been struggling. If you do want to stick around, please make sure you subscribe, leave a like and a comment, and I'll see you in my next video.